Hello, this is Dean Phoenix with episode 10 of my 1999 mode walkthrough for Bioshock Infinite, going for the scavenger hunt achievement where you don't buy anything from a dollar bill machine. So we are picking things up here in the Emporia area, and I will probably call it Euphoria at least a few times because of Witcher 3, so apologies in advance. But this bit starts off with a little bit of a cinematic here, and as you can see there are skylines here, so that makes this whole area relatively easy because we've got Winter Shield. So you can see here I've got 7,279 Silver Eagles because that's important. I just point of reference, this is because I did the gear grinding obviously, and here we're using Sheltered Life and Winter Shield and whatever else you want. I've got Brittle Skinned because it's extremely useful. It lets you deal double damage on melees. So Winter Shield is the main thing here. Make sure that you equip that. You can use possession on the number of the beasts, who are the guys with volley guns or the pig flat cannon, the Vox version of it. So use possession on those. Now you can buy your upgrades now or afterwards. If you buy them now, you've got them for this fight as well. So whilst they're fighting amongst themselves with possession, I'm going to buy my upgrades. So the machines are down here at the side. Charge boost is 555 Silver Eagles. That is an optional one. You can leave that till later. Because I grinded for extra money, I've got it here. Send for less though, 898 Silver Eagles, incredibly well spent. Is just fantastic, primarily for the primary use of Send for less, making it last longer. Undertow boost costs a lot, but it doubles the effective range of Undertow, which just makes it supremely useful for both the secondary, but particularly the secondary particularly because it lets you pull enemies in from a really long distance. So if you've got the money for it, that's another strong one to consider. But Send for less is the one that I would say is really almost essential. It's a fantastic upgrade. For your upgrades from the Minuteman Armory, it's whichever weapons you prefer to use. For me, I've got the volley gun damage and the clip increase. There's also all of the upgrades are available now. So the radius increase is available for the volley gun too, but that one's not essential. That's more of a quality of life one. So get that. I would very strongly consider getting the repeater clip increase, which increases the size of the clip 100% from 20 to 40, which is really good, and also the damage boost too. It comes with the damage boost one already as soon as you get it, so that's fantastic. But 416 Silver Eagles for the damage boost too. The reason that that's really useful is there are sections where you only fight the Vox for like extended periods, and a lot of them carry the repeater, and it's very powerful, particularly if you already afforded that 711 Silver Eagle upgrade. So you see there I've just smashed through about 5,000 Silver Eagles, but if you just stick to the core ones, being Send for less and a couple of your upgrades, then you should be okay. So I've got the volley gun, the hand cannon, the shotgun and the sniper rifle all upgraded for the founder weapons, and the repeater for the Vox weapons. But I would say that you could very easily just want to stick to 4 weapons really. I got the Bucking Bronco and the Murder of Crows, and they were the 2 upgrades for those for duration were again just not necessary. That was because I farmed extra Silver Eagles, so you don't have to do that. But possession, Undertow, Send for less and charge, if you can get those upgrades. Send for less is the only one of the return to sender that you need, but I've got all the upgrades for the other one. But what we really need is you need to have already got Charge Aid, which should have already. Send for less is the really essential one. We should both have both possession upgrades, and then if you and you should have Undertow Aid, and then if you can afford them, then you can consider getting, I would say, the Undertow effective range boost after that, and charge boost as a bonus. That is just a bonus. Charge Aid is the main one for charge. So again, there's a few of the beasts dropped from these airships, and so you want to possess them because they will kill the other enemies, and more importantly they're really dangerous to yourself. So make sure that you can possess those while you can. And then a handyman's going to turn up towards the end of the encounter. So what you want to do for the handyman is Sheltered Life is kind of useful. You want to switch to the handyman nemesis and make sure that you still have Winter Shield and Brittle Skinned, because you can jump on and off the skyline, and that means that even as scary as the handyman potentially is on 1999 mode, is not difficult at all in this encounter. And here you can come down to the bottom platform and grab the salts from that tear, because there are 100 salt pickups there, so it's 3 full bars of salts. So whenever you're wanting, you can do that. Now you can actually hold the handyman up with the undertow secondary if you wish, and anytime he gets a hit in or anything, you can just use the invincibility from charge aid. That applies the brittle skin double damage to him as well. So when you've cleared out all that conflict and explored all of the extra areas, there's a door up at the top to unlock and a tear that can fill up your volley gun. You can either go to the right or the left. So first I would go to the right hand side. I actually did them the other way around, but I've rearranged the footage because I realised afterwards you're probably best off going to the right first, because you don't have to travel as far. And if you do this bit and then double back to the main area, and go through the left-hand gate, you actually avoid a big conflict with the Patriots, with some Patriots and things. So yeah, go to the right-hand side first, progress, kill the fireman, then make sure you grab all 4 lockpicks in this room. So there's that lockpick pack there, and then have Elizabeth hack the safe and pick the safe, whatever, and then you can get more money here and this book. So make sure you pick up the cipher book, because you'll need that later before we go into the Bank of the Prophet, which we'll be covering as part of the next episode. So grab all of that stuff, then carry on past where you beat the fireman. There's another locked door, and this has a load of money in it. There's a big bag of money there, so make sure you grab that, loot the register, and importantly we have I think it's the second to last infusion. Oh no, we've still got a few to go. So got an infusion there. So that is full shield, full salts, which we got quite a while ago, and then that is the 6th one to add to health. So make sure you get that. Now instead of carrying on that way, I would double back to the area where you had the big fight with the handyman, where you started this Emporia area, and just have Elizabeth lockpick this side and go to the left hand side instead. Get return to sender at the ready, or if you did manage to afford the undertow boost, so the effective range of the undertow is really far now, you can use that instead, because after you go past there, there's quite a few things to pick up. There's a few machines and things, and then you get to this area with some snipers and the decoy tear. So make sure you use the decoy tear first of all. If you have the undertow boost, you can normally pull these guys in with undertow, which is why it's so amazing. When it's got the boost, you can grab them from a really long way away and pull them in, and then kill them at your leisure. There's 4 snipers here, so you have to be careful. Now this is the other way of doing it. I'm just going to show you how much damage the snipers do. They do not mess about on 1999 mode, so if you're going to do it the other way, then you want to make sure that you always have a blue send for less shield up, because you'll see as soon as I change the tear so that the decoy isn't active, they will fire on you instead of the decoy, obviously, straight away. So we change this tear and bang, they hit you straight away. So you always have to have send for less up, but you don't have to worry about zooming in or anything like that. You can do that with the sniper rifle. You can still use the zoom, and just make sure that you keep send for less up at all times, and the return to sender with send for less doesn't really cost much to keep up, so that's extremely good. And then you can use that tear and restock your sniper ammo afterwards. Carrying on round that direction, so you follow this section round, and this is a quite big fight. There's a freight hook tear there if you want to use the winter shield approach, which is probably the slightly safer way of doing it, or you can just rock with the blood to salt and then have that gun automaton do a lot of the work for you. Just be careful as I turn back round there. You'll notice that a couple of enemies sneak up from behind, so you can't just really camp out here without paying any attention to them coming up behind you. But you can see the gun automaton there is really good. There's a fight between fireman and the Patriot, and then there's a load of Vox and founders fighting as well. So really good idea just to hang back, let the gun automaton do a bunch of stuff until they've weakened each other a little bit. Here I waited until the fireman had gone down, and then came in and managed to beat the Patriot and a couple of the others. Again, as long as you've got charge aid, then you can always use it whilst you've got salt to not only inflict brittle skin, but whenever you use charge with charge aid, it'll give you brief a few seconds of invulnerability and also recharge your shield, which is why it's so amazing in the first place. Now that you have Undertow and Shock Jockey, you can use those in combination to weaken the Patriots. They're weak to both of those. So bear that in mind, very useful as well. And if you've got the repeater, you can see that with the amount of damage that it does, I actually have the recoil stability as well, so I have all 4 upgrades for it, the one that you have by default and then the other 3 that I've bought. And whilst that's quite expensive, the repeater is a bit of a monster when it's got all of those upgrades, so that's why I love to have that one, particularly because, like I explained, you will go through sections where you're mostly fighting the Vox with no founders, and it's just easier if you can use their own repeater against them and keep your ammo stocked like that. So you carry on and you find that we need Lady Comstock's fingerprints to get through to Comstock House, and so the next period is going to be progressing to take on Lady Comstock. Now, a lot of people think this is extremely difficult, but I don't think it's particularly bad, and we'll cover that in the next episode. If you want to, you'll have picked up quite a few more Silver Eagles. So you see here, I've got another 700 or so, and I got the Shock Duration Aid because that one can be really useful for Patriots in particular, because you can just stun them and it takes a lot less salts to do that. So make sure that you stock up on salts. There's a shotgun tear here when you get to Lady Comstock's place. Or you can use the repeater, the volley gun, and there's also a hail fire which we're going to grab for taking her on next time. So we'll cover that in the next episode. I hope you found this episode useful for the start of Euphoria, and I will be sorting out the tactics that we want to use for Lady Comstock next time. So basically, just to give a slight update, there are a few other things you need to collect around here. There's also a crank gun tear on this side of it, so just be careful. But before you get here, there's also a few safes and Vox Fawn and things like that, so make sure you grab those before you progress to this graveyard. So I will see you next time as we take on Lady Comstock, and please like, comment and subscribe if you're finding the content useful and enjoying the walkthrough, and I will see you next time for the next episode. Thank you.